Okay, we are the last Mishnah of the fifth Perek of Pirke Avoth. So it's chapter 5, Mishnah 20. Ben He Omer. Ben He says, Lefum Sara Agra. It's an unbelievable concept. Unbelievable concept. And it's unique. The truth of the matter is we don't see it. We don't see it anywhere else. Lefum Sara Agra. According to one's effort, one will be rewarded. So it's unique only when it comes to what we call a religious side. And you hire somebody to make a shoe, the shoe you could work very hard. If he messes up the shoe, so he messed up the shoe. His hard work doesn't do anything to you. He doesn't get paid. He didn't make a good shoe. But over here, lefum sara agra. One hard work is what really matters. So also, two same results will not be necessarily rewarded the same. Two people could have done the same good deed. One of them did it with a lot of effort. The other one came to him easily. It was effortless for him. So the one that did effort, maybe the mitzvah is worth the reward. The reward may be 100 times or more. So let's see. Rambam says here, Lefum Sara Agra, Vama Ben He. Says Rambam that what is being said here, according to what a person puts effort, according to the challenges one goes through, that's how the reward will work. Amru, to the point that Chachamim says, Shelo yitkayem min ha-chokhmah, that one who learns something, who learns Torah, other things, what will he remember? What will he truly get? So good, understand the depth of it and retain well. Something that was hard, that he had to work on, that he had to go and review another time, try to see it didn't make sense first. Or there were other hardships that couldn't make it. Somebody who reads, picks up a book and sits on the lazy boy and reclines back. So obviously it's a wonderful thing. He studied, he did good thing, but you should know, he's not going to return it that one. He's not going to be remembered as well as something that one does with effort. Melech says, Chokhmati amdali. My chokhmah, my wisdom, I retained, it stayed for me. What does it mean it stayed for me? Chokhmati shelamati be'af, that which I learned with difficulty, with hardship, amdali, that's what stayed for me. That's one of the reasons why Chachamim tell that teachers should have certain awe, certain fear into the student. The students are afraid, they're scared, they want to do well. So that remains, because that tension itself is an unbelievable story of David Kornglass. Who was the mashkiach, the first mashkiach of an Israeli Yeshiva. He was a Holocaust survivor. So he has a very, very famous book. A very, very famous book on Yerushalmi, Seder Zeraim. Now that's a Gemara that is not usually learned. It's a very, very difficult portion, and it's a little bit obscure, hard, difficult halachot there. So Rav David Kornglass writes in the introduction to the Sefer, you know where he wrote the Sefer? He authored the Sefer in Shanghai, China. The famous story, he was part of the Mir Yeshiva. The Mir Yeshiva escaped. They ran from the Germans, from Poland into Russia. And they basically ran one after another till finally they secured some visas from the Japanese ambassador, and they ended up in Shanghai. They first went to Kobe, Japan. They were in Kobe for a couple of months. I think the whole yeshiva, it was close to 600 people. and then they ended up in Shanghai, and they were in Shanghai for the duration of the war. Miraculously, even when Shanghai came under Japanese rule, they were very benevolent to them. Even though the Japanese had sided with the Germans, but when it came to the Jews, they were protecting the Jews. The story goes, which Rebbe was it? One of the Rebbes who also ended up in Shanghai. They asked him that he had a meeting with the emperor, with the Japanese emperor. So he said, why the Germans hate you so much? Why can't they stand you? Because they had requested them that they be handed over or terminated. So he willingly said, because we are Semitic. Japanese are also Semitic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They know that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Chinese are not Semitic?
Chinese are also Semitic. Right. So that is believed to be the reason why the emperor decided to be benevolent to the Jews. But be that as it may, they lived in Shanghai throughout the time when Shanghai was being bombarded for 5 years. They said there was hardly a day that they didn't have bombshells going on all around them. They had all the issues. Rabbi Kornglass himself, along with many other of them, his wife and children were in there. They didn't know what was happening with their families. They didn't know if they were going to survive at any moment. They were at the mercy of Japanese officials. Right? They were literally there with no sources, no funds. As it ended up, that was one of the safest places. Every one of them survived. Those who were there, and people helped, and the Japanese government themselves helped. There were some local Jews also in Shanghai that helped them out. But be that as it may, ended up. But he writes in the introduction to his Sefer, he writes that he saw he couldn't go. The pressure, the mental stress was such, he couldn't learn. So he decided that if he is gonna really get back to himself, he must take a very challenging thing. So that's why he decided he's going to learn Yerushalmi Zeraim. He's going to clarify it. He's going to work on the hard points, and he's going to author a book clarifying, helping the world this very obscure and difficult portion of Talmud Yerushalmi. Because his sight wasn't going. The mental pressure was that the plateau where for many years he had been, right, Baruch Hashem, a very, very productive rabbi. He wasn't going under that pressure. He wasn't being productive. So he felt that he needed to push himself a little bit more to the challenging side. And that's what he writes in the introduction. He says, when everything else left me and everything else was one pressure after another, I decided the only thing that could save me is that I challenge myself to something. So that's what Rambam says. He says, that which you learn with difficulty, that which you put your effort in, that which doesn't come easy, Usha Amdali, is what is going to last. And I tell you, that Sefer is a masterpiece. It became the best known thing he ever wrote. Much better than everything else. It's amazing.
How do you explain that?
Because Rambam just said. Because when one feels challenged, right, when one is not relaxed, one is going to put out much better. Rambam just said, the Chachamim tell us, the way you sit and learn makes a difference. If you're reclining and all, taking a snack here, taking a snack there, you won't remember. It's wonderful. You're studying, you're learning. You won't remember it as well as if you were intense. When there is that intense pressure, that comes real. So Rambam is bringing down that to explain the point of Ben Hehe. Now, Ben would have lefum saragra. Ben tells us, well, lefum saragra. As much as effort you put in, that's how much reward you get, which I explained before, which is usually doesn't go in the world like this. Two people give you the same shoe, they get the same money. The one who spend more effort, but no. We go person by person when it comes to the reward of mitzvah. That's one thing. Rambam takes it one step further. That's okay. If you do the effort, you should know you get more reward. But Rambam says more than that. The intensity, the effort is what's going to make it more real. So maybe that's why it has a more reward. Because it's much, much more real. When you did something with effort, you remember it. You retain it. It stays with you. It becomes part of you. So that's real. That's much, much more real. That defines who you are. Those challenging moments and what you did with those challenges is the very definition of what a person is. Okay.